Hey, welcome to From Scratch Ranch. In this episode, I want to talk about internet. When we first bought the land, there was no internet out here. There wasn't even a road. There was no power, there was no water, no utilities, nothing. So we had to use our cell phones, and we used our hotspots on our phones for internet. It wasn't really a problem until we moved out here. We moved into the camper. And when we moved into the camper, and we had to use our hotspots non-stop for everything from watching TV to working out here, we quickly used all of our data plan, and we upped our plan to the premium, most premium, super premium I can get, and we still would run out of data. So it was a problem, but we finally got internet, high-speed internet, fiber optics through Ozarks Go. So we didn't even get our Ozarks Go though until long after we were inside the barndominium. It took a long time for Ozarks Go to get out here. So we still had to use our cell phones in the barndominium. The problem is it's a metal building, and the metal building acts as a Faraday cage. Therefore, you don't get a cell signal inside. So that didn't do us any good. So we'd have to stand by the window like this to get a signal, just to get a little bit of a signal, enough to send a text, to receive an email. It wasn't gonna work. So we did that for months, and it was painful. Let me tell you, it was painful, especially since my job requires high-speed internet to do my work. So finally, we got Ozarks Go, fiber optic internet, high speed, really fast. And it works great inside the barndominium. Problem is, again, it's a metal building, so it acts as a Faraday cage, so we can't get a Wi-Fi signal outside the building now. And that's really unfortunate for the camper. So any guests that stay with us, they need Wi-Fi out in the camper. And now I office out of the camper, so I needed the Wi-Fi to work outside and reach the camper. Would love to have cameras around the property, on the Wi-Fi, out at the chicken coop, out by the horses, put a weather station out there, put a camera out there so we can keep track of everything that's going on. That's about 400 feet out away from the barn, so it's pretty far. So what I needed was like a campground type Wi-Fi access point to put outside. So that's when I found the WAVLINK AC1200 on Amazon. So let's take a look at that. All right, since I'm having a problem getting Wi-Fi outside of this metal building, the barndominium, I bought a WAVLINK AC1200 dual band outdoor access point and Wi-Fi extender. So I'm gonna mount this on the outside of the barn in the corner here. That way I can get Wi-Fi outside. So what do we got inside here? Well, we've got the main unit. That's what that looks like. And then there's 4 antenna connectors. Okay, so we have 4 different antennas. 2 of them are solid here, and then the others have hinge points. There's a 5G and a 2.4G of each, and it's marked. So the straight ones without the hinge go on top. You got a 5G and 2.4G. That's that dual band. You screw them on top, and it's got this nice little rubber gasket on there to weatherproof it. .4. Okay, looks like something straight out of Star Wars. All right, now the cable attaches underneath here. Two plugins there, and it runs through this rubber here. There's also a power over Ethernet adapter. So it can run power out to it. Here's the, so this will power up closer to where the router's at and run power through the Ethernet cable all the way out to the unit here. The access point needs to be configured, and you can do it through Wi-Fi once it's all installed and everything, or you can just plug into the LAN port here. On the bottom there's a LAN and a WAN port. You want to use the LAN port. Plug that in there, and then into your computer for that direct connection. into the computer, and then you could do all of your configuration right here and make sure it's going to work right before I go and install this thing up on the side of the building. And then just in a browser, you enter in wifi.wavelink.com, which I did here, and it brings you to a setup screen. Nice. Okay, this is the mount I bought on Amazon. There's a link down below for it. And this is gonna go on the side of the metal building. Now, I'm gonna use these metal screws for metal building, and it's got the washers on them. And so what I need to do is probably pull off a washer off one of the screws and put the screw through the hole here. And I'm gonna put another washer. And remember, these are the special washers for a metal. They compress down and they've got the rubber in them. And that helps waterproof it. Okay, so that way the water won't penetrate that hole once I put that in there. I'm gonna put it right there. So there's a 2x4 girt right along here. So I'm gonna tap into that. All right, before I get that in too tight, it's hard to do with gloves on. I'm gonna stick that washer in that little washer there. Hopefully I don't drop it behind. All right, fight. There we go. That on really tight, and because this antenna is super light, it's not like I'm putting up a satellite dish or anything. I don't need to put screws on the bottom. I'll just leave it like that is. There's no sense in putting extra holes in the metal siding. Now I do need to drill a hole probably up here for the cable to come out and up into the actual antenna. All right, this is the LAN cable here. This is a Cat 7 50-foot cable, Ethernet cable, and I need to drill a hole the size of this connector here. So I think I got about the right size bit, and it looks about right, to drill the hole for the metal siding. And then I'll feed this from the back side in. Okay, here goes nothing. I want to make sure I clear the 2x4 that's back there, assuming these are center. So I'll probably want to go about right there. All right, little pilot hole. Let's see if that works. So this antenna came with some zip ties. So the cable passes through the cap, the bottom of the cap, and then there there's this rubber piece for waterproofing, and there's a slit in the hole there, so I'm just gonna see if I can open that up. There we go. Okay, and then this piece that holds that rubber in like that. Okay, and then now I need to plug this into the WAN side. That's the wide area network, WAN, and that's the PoE, which is power over Ethernet. The other one's the LAN, which we don't want, that's a local area network. So I want this to be a wide area and with power. Okay. Screw the cap on. All right, tuck that in. Maybe I'll get a little bit of slack just in case. Maybe zip tie this later. Now I've got the hole there, and I'll fix that later with some kind of cap, but for now I'm just gonna use some silicone and fill that in from both sides. My router is inside the master bedroom closet, which is right in here. And here's that's the optical fiber from Ozarks Go coming in. There we go, so there's that, that's power. And over here is all my LAN cables that go to the rest of the house. So I need to pass that one new cable from that corner way back over there from outside, up over, down here and into this box. And then I'll have it inside to the router. I need to pass my cable up and over these rafters. This makes it a lot easier, accessible to do this kind of thing with where I planned on putting this. Okay, well that was easy enough. Now we just go inside and hook it into the router and then configure it. Okay, so pulled this through the box there, and what's nice about this cable is a flat cable. I can just kind of tuck it under this plate here. I already have my two LAN cables that go from the router out to different locations in the house. So I can kind of sneak that underneath there like that. Now the cables are getting a little crazy up here. All right, so I have my PoE, my power over Ethernet adapter. So power, DC there, plug her in. Now this is the cable that goes out. So LAN data in, so out to the antenna. Another LAN cable in from the router. And find a port on the back side of my router here. And we should be good. And there's a power on button. There we go. We're right under the Wi-Fi access point. I'm gonna start my test. I'm gonna walk out to the barn and see how strong my signal is out there. So far, so good. Well, we made it to the road. Still got a signal. Still have a signal. Gonna head to the woods. Well, I still have a signal. 2 bars on the Wi-Fi. It's a weak signal. But I'm pretty far away. I'm close to 600 feet away from the barn. Okay, this is about it. I'm about 600 feet away from the access point, and it says, oops, switch to Wi-Fi network. So I lost my signal about 600 feet out, which is about what it says it can reach. So I'm happy with that. I can get a Wi-Fi signal, you know, way out here. Walked back over to where the house is gonna go, where we're gonna build the house right here. And I got a really strong signal here. Even the barn there is about 300 feet away. Yeah, I'm getting a really strong signal here. So, access point over there. I can get my signal way out to the woods over there, past the barn about 600 feet. I'm about 300 feet from the barn and get a really strong signal here. So I think this WAVLINK outdoor access point is gonna work exactly how I need it to work for our setup here. Perfect. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned something from it. If so, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. So until next time, keep living the dream.